Hello, I'm Kim Bennett, and I'm delighted to welcome you. I really hope that what I share with you today will be the start of a journey for you that will take you to new heights of achievement. Today, I hope that I can get you to start thinking about how you can make some radical and magical changes to your life, and most importantly, changes to your end results. As I said, my name is Kim Bennett, and I'm a consultant working with a company called the Proctor Gallagher Institute. Now, to millions of people across the globe, the name Bob Proctor is synonymous with success. He has helped countless thousands of people achieve success in every conceivable walk of life. As I said, I work with Bob as a consultant, and it is to him that I need to thank for most of the information I will be sharing with you. As for myself, during the latter years of my employed life, I worked mostly in the software industry, running development teams. I also found in my various roles the most satisfying part was being able to help in the development of my team members from both a personal and a professional perspective. Today, I run my own company called Elite Potential, where we help people to develop themselves and to show them how they can become the best image of themselves that they can possibly be. I've had a varied journey, but now I think I've arrived at where I firmly believe that I can truly give back to, well, you and to anyone else who has a dream of self-improvement. So I titled this session The Magic Box, and I'd like to show you how we all have a magic box available to us to have anything that we want in our lives, and how we can call on the riches that exist all around us to be able to really enjoy the lives that we all deserve. Now, on a regular basis, I study the book You Too Can Be Prosperous by Robert Russell. This is a fantastic book, and I do take a lot of inspiration for my life from its contents. Chapter 4 is called The Magic Box. And I saw this and I thought it really does give me an intriguing starting point to show the wonders that we all have in our possession. I'm going to quote a few lines from this book, and then I'm going to give you an idea of my understanding of those quotes that I think will help you to understand just what you are personally capable of achieving if you think the right way. Now, the first line of this chapter starts with a question. If you had a little box in your home that will produce whatever you wanted, whenever you open the lid, what would happen to your state of consciousness, your thoughts, and your feelings? I'm sure we've all heard this sort of question before. Maybe you thought, what would it be like if I had 3 wishes from a genie? Or maybe wondered what you could actually have every day if we had a little box just like this. Now, I believe, as the book says, that the first thing that to happen will be that we start thinking in completely different ways. Any thoughts of lack or worry or insecurity for your future would disappear very quickly. Knowing that you could go to your little box as often as you needed would eliminate all sense of limitation and strain from your mind. There would be no more poverty in your life or the lives of your family, your friends, and any number of people that you might like to help would be immeasurably improved. Having what you wanted when you wanted it would not only lift you above the plane of material need, but would, if the power used wisely, make you a better, more useful, and a more effective person. Now, I'm sure that you're thinking now this is a lot of nonsense and a figment of the imagination. Well, I'm going to prove to you that you are wrong. The box itself is really just a symbol of your consciousness. And to approach it in the right way with the right idea in mind is to cause that box to open and remove all you want, all want from your life. Now, the principle of demonstrating prosperity is exact and unalterable as the principles of mathematics. You see, there are certain laws that govern the acquisition of riches. Once these laws are mastered and applied, riches will follow with mathematical certainty. Now, when I say riches, I don't necessarily mean money. It can be anything that enriches your life. Now, we all want wealth in one form or another, but financial wealth, for example, doesn't always come through any special abilities, talent, influence, or environment. It comes from the result of thinking, acting, and believing in a certain way. Those who follow this way, consciously or unconsciously, purposefully or accidentally, get definite results. Those who don't follow this way will always remain in want. You can look at sports teams as an example of this. You could have a squad full of enormous ability and potential, but unless they have the correct attitude, they will never be successful. This is why we see so many coaches and managers losing their jobs, because they cannot or are unable to get these talented individuals to act as a team with the same positive mental attitude. It's not a matter of living in a certain location, working in a certain profession, or being bright, or conversely being dull and uneducated. The potential of one person is exactly the same as the potential of any other person, which obviously means that you are as capable of achieving as much greatness in your life as anyone else that you would care to mention. It doesn't matter what you want. If you want to be rich, if you want to live in a nice house, live with your ideal partner, be your ideal weight, the potential that each one of us has is exactly the same as anybody else. The law of supply is no respecter of persons. Since like produces like, and since the law of cause and effect works in the same way for all, at all times, anybody who follows the law will infallibly demonstrate an abundant supply. At the moment in your life, you may be the most disappointed, disheartened, discouraged, depressed person in the world. You may be without connections, prospects, and opportunities. But if you begin to apply these principles, to do the things that follow this law, your whole situation will begin to improve. If you need friends, you'll find them. If you need money, you'll get them. If you're in the wrong position, you'll find the right one. If you're in the wrong place, you'll find the right place. You can begin to secure these results by starting right now, where you are, to do things in the way that brings you success. So what is the way that works such miracles in human life? It's the way of consciousness. Now, why consciousness? Because consciousness is your life, the creative life of God. Now, you may or may not be religious. Personally, I'm not, but I do believe that God is spirit, and as such, lives within all of us. So when I say God, if it makes you feel more comfortable, then I really mean spirit. Consciousness is what you have, where you are, how you work. It's what you do, how you act, what comes to you, what leaves you, the kinds of friends, the opportunities you attract, and the kind of problems that you may have. Consciousness is the determining factor in every circumstance, experience, and condition in your life. It decides whether you're successful or unsuccessful, rich or poor, happy or sad, strong or weak, peaceful or discordant. For all are but the expression of the consciousness of the universe in which you live. All of our lives are just a state of consciousness. Now, when we understand that, we can start to see the true potential that lies within us. Now, if I was to ask you to lean back in your chair, relax for a few moments, and let me just ask you a few questions. So, what is troubling you at the moment? What are you worrying about? Why are you fearful? Is it unemployment? Is it unhappiness? Is it lack of income? Now, when you answered that question for yourself, now look at your consciousness. If you are suffering from lack in any form, it's because the picture you have of yourself in your consciousness is one of lack, and these are the results that you are seeing in your life. If you're hard pressed financially, if you're out of work, if you're without a decent place to live, then you're expressing and experience exactly what you're holding within. Our thoughts create things. You just need to look around you. Everything that you have in your life started off as a thought. Look at the mobile phone, for example. Someone thought we needed this in our lives, and this object was produced, and now we all have one. Someone thought there must be a better way of moving stuff around, so someone thought about the wheel. It was invented, and it changed the world. If we accept this to be true, which it is, then thought is creative. Then what am I and what I have what I am and what I have at this particular moment in time is simply the image of what I have in my consciousness. Life is a state of consciousness. Without consciousness, there would be no life. It comprises everything in the world. When you reduce everything in the universe to its lowest common denominator, you say, I am. You might say, I am rich, I am poor, I am happy, or I am sad. You can never run away from yourself. You could never be other than yourself. When you express consciousness, you use the words I am. No one else can think for you. No one else can use your I am to express your thoughts. I hope you're starting to see how a poor man becomes rich and how a sick man becomes well. Are you beginning to understand what it means to never want again? Nobody would ever say, I am poor or I am unhappy, if they actually knew that the results that they are currently having in their life are a direct result from that statement. But people do because people don't know better. So, how do we start making changes? Well, we do this by changing our thoughts and then keeping them changed. Unfortunately, we are in a world where negativity sells. If you want positive, uplifting news, we can seldom see it. Conversely, if you want to see negative reactions, then they are everywhere that you'd care to look in our society. A gentleman called Thomas L. Masson said, our mind is like an apple, in which the possibility of decay is always present, in which indeed there are many soft spots. The problem is to keep it sound. So, how do we keep our mind sound? How do we stop the decay from entering our minds? Let's say the thought of bankruptcy or economic disaster comes along. How do we restore the soundness of our minds in the presence of such a weak and debilitating belief? Well, by changing the thought and keeping it changed. What we have to remember is that man always gets the things and the conditions that are present in his consciousness. If we have a consciousness of money, we will get money. If we have a consciousness of health, we get health. The Bible, for example, tells us that a man is what he thinks in his heart. What he thinks in his heart, or our consciousness, is what we attract in our lives. So when we understand that, it's perfectly obvious that the way out of impoverished conditions is through changing your consciousness. In fact, it's the only way you can change anything in your life. If you tell me that you have a small salary, I'd say look at your consciousness. Find the offending belief and reverse it. Change your thought about it and keep it changed for something better. Speak the words of conviction and acceptance. Put it into what you expect to take out of it. Consciously keep your mind on it until it takes form. What do I mean by speak the word with conviction and acceptance? We mean a clear-cut, definite, formulated thought. The strongest and most creative word is I am. Whenever you say I am, you are calling upon the universe to do something for you, and it will do it. Whenever you say I am, you'll be writing a check on the universe, and the proceeds will go to you. If you say I am tired, I am sick, I am poor, I am fed up, I am disappointed, then you are writing checks for a future of trouble and limitation. If you say I am rich, I am happy, I am my perfect weight, then again, you're writing a check on the universe, and that check will also be honored. Which would you rather have? The way that I always do my affirmations is I start with, I am so happy and grateful now that, and whatever I follow this with is my affirmation. Whatever you believe becomes, whatever you think expresses. You build your consciousness with your I am by the things you think and do all day long. And if negatives come into your mind, recognize it and banish it straight away. I really hope you're starting to grasp this principle. If you're looking for better jobs, more income, and greater freedom, if you do what I am saying here, the circumstances in your life will have to change. Have you ever considered why it is that a man who has made a fortune and lost it can make another one faster than a man who's never had one? Because his consciousness is already in that direction, they believe they can make another fortune. Why do businesses disintegrate and fall apart when their founders die? It's because the supporting consciousness has been taken away. If we can show you what is wrong with your thinking, that knowledge should constitute the greater part of the cure for you. One of the reasons people have insufficient income is that they imagine something other than spirit is their source of supply. Those who don't understand this will try to change their outer circumstances without changing their consciousness, a process exactly like trying to lift yourself up by your bootstraps. It's important to make up your mind about the things that you want, but it's more important to be willing to change your mind in order to get them. A great example is weight loss. We see people wanting to lose weight, so they go on diets. They may well lose a significant amount of weight, but unless they change the way they think about themselves, inevitably they'll gain the weight again. Do you begin to sense the riches that will be poured into your life when this adjustment has been made? If you fail to receive the riches that are rightfully yours, there is some impediment in your thoughts that must be removed. I'll be doing further sessions like this where I will be delving deeper into what it is that we need to change in order to remove those impediments. I hope you'll join me for those sessions as well. If you start to use this information and start to really understand and study yourself and your potential, This time next year, your life will be changed so radically, you'll need a telescope to see how far you've come. If you'd like to meet me, I'd be more than happy to spend some time with you to get to know you and to show you how I can help you to become the absolute best image of yourself that you can possibly be. Now, click on the link in either the comments or the description of this video and set up a meeting with me. Do it now. There really is nothing to lose, but you have so much you could gain. So as we started this session, what would you like to see in your own magic box? Your magic box is your consciousness, and it can contain anything that you really desire. We as human beings, we are capable of doing whatever we want. You have unlimited potential. Anything that is physically possible is possible for you to achieve. I can show you how to do this. Set up that meeting with me now and let's talk. I'd like to thank you for being here today. And as I said, I will be here again in a few days' time, where we'll be looking at your purpose and why this is so important to you and to your life. Now, thank you for your time, and goodbye.